Alright, yo, what's going on guys, it's Lake and welcome to today's video. We're here actually in my front living room. I don't usually make videos outside of my room, but today we are just up in my front living room. If you guys remember a while ago, when I was switching rooms to my room upstairs, this was probably a couple months ago by now, I actually had my setup in here for like a week. I did stream from here from a couple weeks. I had my table set up right here, and I did stream from here a couple times. So if you guys are real OG, you guys remember that? That was quite a while ago actually. But this is a video that kind of came out of nowhere for probably some people. Some people I actually have talked to about this a couple times. This video is titled I'm Leaving SAW, or I left SAW, or something. I don't know, something along those lines. But anyways, I decided to leave the SAW sniping, or Team SAW, GG, whatever you want to call them, or just SAW. I'm just going to call them SAW. When I first joined, I was kind of shocked how I joined. SAW Savior came in my stream and he said, do you want to join SAW? Or he said something about SAW, and I didn't think he was an actual member, because he had like no subs on his channel, but he actually was a manager. He ended up recruiting me to SAW. In my time in SAW, I didn't really do a lot. I didn't really help out with the team as much, or really at all. I just feel like I'm taking up a roster spot in all. I was promoted to a stream leader position, but I feel like I'm just not cut out to be a stream lead. Nothing against any of the streamers in SAW, but I didn't really know where the standard set, because it seemed like there were some people that deserved it, some people that it looked like they were just trying to recruit people. And obviously SAW is supposed to be one of those elite teams in the community and everything like that. SAW was always one of the more, prestigious teams, invite only. They didn't really just kind of pick up everybody at random. But it seems like they were kind of just forcing some recruits, I believed. It seemed like they didn't really take the time with looking at recruits. Even me, I am even one of them. I was kind of shocked at how fast I joined, because it seemed like it just happened like really fast. And as a team with that many subscribers and that big of a following, you think that, I wouldn't really be like that. But as I was in SAW, the more I realized that the fan base for SAW is kind of inactive. The team has been around for a very long time, obviously, and it seems like the active supporters for SAW, it's not really there. Another big thing when I was in SAW, I've noticed, some members are just drawn to drama for whatever reason. It is the Cod community. Everybody gets in huge arguments, which kind of sucks. The Cod community is honestly just terrible. Kids with DDoSing each other and just having the time of their lives calling out each other and giving each other cancer, whatever, I don't know, dude. It's terrible. And when I was in SAW, it seemed like, there was always a bunch of arguments going on with other members of other teams, and it seemed so uncalled for me. And there was some situations when I was looking at some of the leaders and some of the higher ups, and also just some of the members, that it just seemed like they weren't really representing the team in the way they should have been. And obviously, if you're a large team in a large organization like that, and you have like sponsorships and stuff like that, you should probably obviously be a little bit more outstanding, and sit there and be a little bit more, I don't know, I just not really have that kind of image on you. Like, I remember when L7 had a couple members that stepped out of line. Some kid actually, I think it was Slips, honestly. I'm not calling out Slips and being rude or anything, but somebody called out one of the sponsors, and then one of the sponsors said that we sponsor L7, not this member. And that was like a huge thing in the community for a while there. And that's, like, stuff like that it's uncalled for you to go something and say something out of line and do something like that. And that's another thing to, like, call up the sponsors and stuff like that, because if I was ever in that situation and I'm representing a team, you got to understand what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're tweeting, everything like that. Obviously you're your own person. You can say whatever the hell you want on the internet. Obviously, that's something that everybody just really does. They're more outspoken. They kind of just say their mind. They don't really care, because you guys can just hide behind a keyboard and hide behind a monitor, hide behind a camera. You're not looking at somebody face to face, and that's why it seems like some 14-year-olds just feel like they can do whatever they want. They can kind of just say whatever they want. They kind of don't really think about what they're saying. They kind of just go all in. And some SAW members, it just seemed like, they weren't really representing the team, a team that I would want to be in. Now, I've always been a huge SAW fanboy. I mean, not always, but way back when, SAW was like a prestigious team, you know? You would think it'd be FaZe #1, Soar #2, Obey 3, and it'd be like SAW, Dare, Psycho. But so much of this COD community has changed. You see so many of these larger teams, Dare, SAW, it seems like all their videos have like just dislike bots, just people disliking on a bunch of fake accounts. A lot of people in the community just giving these teams hate and stuff like that. Like, I'll be streaming every now and then, and occasionally people will just come in and they're like, oh, I really like your stream. A couple minutes later, they're like, oh, you're in SAW? They're like, well, you know, you're not cool now because you're in SAW. And I never really seen that. Like, how are you gonna discredit somebody for them being in a team? And I'm not leaving because I'm sitting here and I'm streaming and people are like, why are you in SAW? You shouldn't be in SAW. That is definitely not the reason why I'm leaving. That is absolutely not it. Because whether or not a team, like someone's gonna like me for being in a team or not, I could kind of care less. Not everyone's gonna like your team. You know, if you're in an underrated team, you're in a large team, you know, everyone's gonna like you. You know, that's why, I mean, you know, FaZe was always the premier team, you know, now everybody hates them. Like, you know, they say all they do is make vlogs, smoke weed in California, but they overlook so much. There's just so many kids that they overlook so much, and it's getting a little ridiculous. So, what I want to do for teams, I really don't know. I want to go back to just being myself, being my own brand, doing my own thing, because that's pretty much what I've been doing the whole time, even while in SAW. I'm just kind of doing my own thing, but I'm just taking up a roster spot that somebody else could obviously take it. So I don't want to give out any hate to SAW, obviously, or I'm trying not to. I don't know if I am. Like, I really do respect Xavier, one of my good friends. I didn't really talk to him that much when I was in SAW, but I do respect him so much for picking me up and giving me the opportunity to be in SAW. Met great friends, Glides, Trends, Cuban, and more. Weird, you know, there's just so many great members in SAW, and you know, I wish I would have taken a little bit better. I wish I would have bettered my opportunity that I was given. I felt like maybe I could have improved SAW. I could have helped the image of SAW or something like that. But you know, I didn't felt like I was in the position. Even when I was given a stream lead, I felt like I still wasn't in a position. I'm too nice. I can't tell people to stop doing something. Xavier did come to me once and he did tell me that I should have talked to another member about something. And when he told me this, I was like, you know, sure, it's okay. But I couldn't go through with it. I couldn't go through with it. I don't know why. It's my personality, I guess. I could never pull someone aside at work when I work at the Council on Aging or when I worked at my old pizza place. I could never pull somebody aside and just tell them, like, you know, hey, what are you doing today? You're not doing something that the boss likes or that I like, and we need you to step it up, or you know, anything like that. I can't even do that now, as over an internet, over a text message, because I feel like you can take that message wrong in so many ways. You know, if you're sitting there and someone messages you and they say, you know, your videos aren't something that we like and you need to change it up because, you know, it's not representing the team right. That's something that you're gonna look at your videos now and you're gonna be like, well, now I gotta change my whole personality or something like that. And I would take it to heart. Some people, they're not built like me, but you know, they'd probably get told that and they just wouldn't care. They just shrug their shoulder and be like, you know, fine, I'll change it. But as for me, I would take it to heart, be like, you know, well, these are my videos, it's my personality, that kind of sucks. But, you know, so that's why I just never wanted to say anything. So with that, I felt like I just couldn't be a leader of that kind of, like, of that caliber. I feel like I wasn't in a position to rebuild SAW. The communication between the leaders and the players isn't really there. It seems like there's just a couple leaders that are actually chatting, and they actually are going out of the way to talk to me and be helpful with me and get feedback from me. Centro was one of them. I really did appreciate that. You know, he would come to me and he'd be like, you know, I've been gone for a little bit. I want your feedback. You've been on the team for a while. What's been going on? Anything going on? And I did give him the rundown. Like, there was a couple things that I wanted to tell him, but even then I couldn't even tell him because I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to call people out and it, you know, maybe come back to me or something. So I never did anything. I felt like I'm not that kind of person for whatever reason, and it's kind of bad. But as for teams, like, there's only a couple teams in this community that I really care for and want to join, and that's pretty much the big teams. Will I ever join them? Probably not. This COD community, honestly, my cats are over there fighting. This COD community, honestly, I kind of want to start branching away from and doing my own thing. Because it just seems like the more you stay around kids in this COD community, the worse and worse it gets. And it's pretty sad, it's pretty pathetic, honestly. You know, never giving the new Call of Duties a chance, never caring for other Call of Duties, never caring for some people's clips, and never caring for some people's personalities, never really moving on with some things and some changes, you know. Everyone wants to go back to the past, the way things were, then there's other people that just want to get new gen and, or the new guys that, you know, want everything to be different. And there's just too much separation, there's just too much arguing, and it's just not something for me. I don't like arguing. I don't like getting involved. I don't like, you know, I don't like arguing unless it's about sports. I'll argue about sports all day, but I'm not going to argue about whose clips are better, which team's better, or anything like that. So for now, I'm just going to kind of go and do my own thing. I just want to thank everybody in SAW for the opportunity. I want to wish everybody in SAW the best, especially with the new Call of Duty that's coming out. I really hope you guys kill it with World War II and everything like that. And I'll be doing my own thing and just kind of chilling. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's kind of it. It's been like, and I'll see you later. Peace out.